So these are eggs, you know. This is, we're egg worshippers here. At least I am an egg worshiper, not an ego worshiper, an egg worshiper. And in this perfect shape, everything will come from this shape. I'm going to leave one of these eggs here. We'll bury it someplace in the Tower of Babel. Maybe it will hatch, even though it's hard-boiled. Things may be running backwards after the next millennium. You know what I mean? Maybe the whole film is going to be running backwards to the prehistoric golden time, to the Paleolithic golden age. You know, some people think the Paleolithic is the golden age. People didn't have to work and food fell off trees. Animals came to you to be eaten. You know that. Okay, so I want to read a few lines here saying this. I'm going to eat the millennium, fill my head with African gold, look at tectonic maps of Venus, check out the hotspots. I'm not speaking well. I'll try it again. I'm going to eat the millennium, fill my head with African gold, look at tectonic maps of Venus, check out the hotspots, clean the mirror, say hello to another night, sleeping on sharp corners. I'll turn the pages of the giraffe book with my eyes closed and wear the giraffe hat for the big audition when the next dawn finally arrives. There goes sugar walking around, but nothing is free except you and me. You have to be crazy to expect any more. Time is what keeps the light from reaching us. That's my message for the day. Here's looking at you. Okay, here's looking at you again. So we're going to bury one egg here, okay? So that's part of it to give the power. Don't mention it.
I give you a better one.
Yes.
Deze.
Thank you. It's een beetje plat gestampt de grondkant. Many people have been walking around it already.
That's okay. As long as we have a little room.
Here we go. Here goes the little pretty egg.
Relax. Alert.
I think that could. You think that's deep enough? He's doing a good job.
And control.
There we go. Okay. Okay. Hey, first we put it to the third eye. We say Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Okay. Shanti, I hope this egg will bring good fortune and grow into some future possibility.
It's the dilemma.
After this place.
Eggs or the chicken.
Yes.
Not
which
dilemma,
comes, no. Which comes
when
first to me?
So who comes first? Who comes first, the eggs or the chicken? If you answer me with this, you can do kind of ceremony. You put in the ground, you can bounce off the eggs.
Actually, the chicken comes first.
Okay then?
The ants in the ground.
Nah, it's dilemma circle. Who born first, chicken or eggs? This was dilemma.
It's not a dilemma, it's just a beautiful mystery.
Okay then.
Long live the mystery. Oh, this is a nice coverlet. It's a nice blanket, huh? Whoops. Okay.
Harry done.
Okay, thank you. You did a great job. Look, I want to thank you very much. Yes. I see in your eyes the new millennium already is arising. Good, good. What's your name? Femke. Oh, what a nice name. My name is Ira. Yeah, we can do that. We don't want someone to trip on it.
No, because it's nice.
Amsterdam means a lot to me. Holland means a lot to me because I spent a few years here in Holland living in cracked houses and doing all the things that all of you have done. Broodje van Koje, experiences at 3 and 4 in the morning. And maybe I'll even find some poems I wrote when I was here. I don't know where to begin, but okay, here's something. It's not really a poem. Gerard Malanga, a poet friend of mine, was asking me in an interview. His first question was a real easy one. He said, "Where does poetry come from?" So I said, I knew you were going to ask me questions like that, especially early in the day. Where does poetry come from? Then he said again, so then I went on, I gave this answer. If I can find it, so you don't have to tell you everything about Cocteau and Orpheus and taking angelic dictation over a car radio and stuff like that. And then I mentioned how you become a medium and it passes through you. So other times you do it, okay, it's a struggle. Then I say, I once read a book about the Kalahari Bushmen by Lawrence van der Post. I guess he's a Dutchman, right? He's what? English?
It's a Dutch name, but I think the guy is English.
Really? Okay. That's why he writes so well. So that's why you can read him in English. You know, a lot of things in Dutch should really be translated into English. Like all the books of Simon and Hans, for example. But somehow I hope that will happen before this next millennium is over. So I once read a book about the Kalahari Bushmen by Lawrence van der Post. Can you imagine living your whole life wandering as nomads, led only by flashes of lightning? Thinking about this, I wrote in my notebook the other day, wherever lightning flashes, water is sure to be found. I guess you can say the same thing about poetry. Okay, here's a New York poem. It's dedicated to Lakshmi and Andre, two children. It's called Bright Penny Meditation, and it's subtitled Frankenstein in the Park. Sitting with Mr. Baum, taking the November sun in Central Park, our backs against the slanted windows of the Metropolitan Museum, where smart sunbathers come and sit out of sight behind the gently sloping knoll, not so far from where Jennifer Levin was strangled by that shitheel. This is a famous murder case in New York in the last years. White West Highland terriers look out in a perfect triangle like temple dogs in China or Nepal. You wouldn't ever know that the cancer is slowly spreading, that a few cans of tuna are not enough to save the day. We don't know where the girl is. She was an artist who tried to kill herself, put a gun in her mouth, and blew away both of her eyes, she too surviving to this day. You'd never know that even the sun will not shine forever. Can we take consolation in some distant sun or star, some parallel universe which just is in its own way, not better or worse? A play with or without an audience still plays while we lay our snares. The other day, Karen called to ask me Frankenstein's first name. She had a bet, and then I said, Victor. But today I thought, Timothy, Alfred, Gregory, Andre Frankenstein indeed, Ira, Raphael, Lakshmi, Faye, even David Frankenstein. And then I began to laugh inside, and when the laughter subsided, I saw the joke and the power of the name and what power it holds over all that cries, that lives or dies inside. I am what I am, Popeye said, and in this man, perhaps for a moment, touches God. Everyone assumes that Frankenstein is the name of the monster, but there is no monster, only the myth of a maker who no longer exists. Here's a little poem for Jimi Hendrix, which I wrote on the 10th anniversary of Life and Death Paradiso, September 18th, 1980. I'm just skipping around. I have a lot of poems here, but it seems to make sense to read it to you. It's called Immortal Idol. I photographed Jimmy in Mylar, and this is partly a description of the time that he came to my loft and other thoughts on the 10th anniversary, I guess, of his death, in fact, I don't know. Or no, his life, maybe it was his birthday. When you put on your coat and started down the stairs, how I thought, no, he can't leave like that. Then you turned the mirror's corner, walking into cool drifts of absolute reverie. O poet of the averted glance and the steel string, seeking your own image in the butterfly wing of sleep. An empty airplane falls in flames, and you, game for any fling, rise above the living by virtue of your sound, which is everlasting. Of all the dead singers, you are the most alive, and after all these years, you are still running in the gold, Jimmy. You were a prince of sadness and bowed your head to her who loved something more than you. Yet she followed too, as all follow your lead. Amen.
We hebben nu 30 dichters uitgenodigd en dichteressen die toegezegd hebben. Dus het wordt een gigantisch programma. We maken een soort van verdeling, laten we zeggen, in de luisterdichters, de performing poets. En op zondag brengen we de mensen, het meer het dorpsgebeuren, waar ook kinderen doorheen kunnen lopen en honden blaffen. En waar, dus er is ook een Afrikaanse tent. Dat wil zeggen een poëziepodium, een buitenpodium waar dichters uit Afrika en dichteressen uit Afrika een scene maken, eten maken en hun poëzie gaan voordragen. Er is in de dorpskroeg is plaats voor optredens, muzikale optredens. Ben Waalwijk, Aya Waalwijk, Joke Caviar, noem maar op, allerlei Amsterdamse coryfeeën die daar hun liedjes ten gehore zullen brengen. Dus het dorp zal 3 dagen bol staan van de poëzie. Ja.
Nou, dat zie je het Ruigoord. Even terugkomen op Ira Cohen, The Last of the Beat Generation kun je wel zeggen. Een dichter uit New York, maar ook een fotograaf. En we hebben hem al eerder naar Nederland gehaald. Een krachtige persoonlijkheid op zijn minst. Ja,
en een dierbare vriend. En hij is langzaam maar zeker, beginnen we allemaal tot de leeftijd te behoren dat we bijna legendarisch zijn. Ik bedoel, Ira is natuurlijk toch, die wordt toch gerekend tot de categorie van Paul Bowles, Brian Gysin, William Burroughs, Allen Ginsberg.
There's something weird about things, the way they reach out of the unbearable, daily obvious, while we hold the flash of another world, born of that which is locked in and then unlocks itself. Are we all just talking endlessly to ourselves? Better catch the sound of it, the lonely shape of it, singing, winging, flinging it on its way. There were some very high moments, indeed. How can we deny it?